we just released a brand new product that I think is like the culmination of how we want to exist in the world. And so what do we call it?
It's called War Room.
It's called the War Room.
Forward Deployed Engineering as a Service.
So
And
tell
yeah,
me, what is forward deployment engineering? Because you've done that in your career, but you did that before that was ever a vocabulary word. And so what is that really designed to do?
yeah, this forward deployed engineers are specifically in one sentence, it's engineers with people skills and business skills. But I have people skills, damn it. No,
Yeah.
in one
Insert
sentence, that's
office
what it
space.
is. It's really strong engineers that can get in front of people and understand product and design and business and really bring all of that together and actually build things. And the reason this has become big, so in my career, it was always there's a SaaS product that was built. There's a customer that gets signed, and there's always a little bit of code and stuff in between that has to fit the product to the customer use case. And we enabled the sales team to sell things that we didn't build yet because we would build tooling around that. Now, with AI, this field is totally different. And really, it's saying, okay, we have this new thing called AI that allows you to code basically at the speed of light. But if you don't know the code, you start to struggle using the AI. So you can't be totally non-technical. But if you don't know the business side of it, you basically get the same kludgy interfaces that you got out of an outsourced development team. So why is a forward deployed engineer so important? They're going to work with the customer, the product people, the people having the problem. They're going to get in there and see what's going on. And they're going to say, hey, I can actually fix this with code and elegant solutions that you aren't going to hate. What's up, man? We
What's
launched
up,
a
dude?
new
We
product.
did launch a new product, which is exciting. We were really kind of thinking about what is the avenue that we want to travel down. And we always want to index on premium. It's a thing that we just are driven by. It's the reason why we started this agency in the first place, was to provide absolutely premium service to businesses that can't necessarily staff that at all times.
Mhm.
And so I think that's kind of the return back to our original perspective. It never really left. It was always just like, what do we put on the homepage that's going to create some type of interest? But we just released a brand new product that I think is like the culmination of how we want to exist in the world. And so what do we call it?
It's called War Room.
It's called the War Room.
Forward Forward Deployed Engineering as a Service.
So
And
tell
yeah,
me, what is forward deployment engineering? Because you've done that in your career, but you did that before that was ever a vocabulary word. And so what is that really designed to do?
yeah, this forward deployed engineers are specifically in one sentence, it's engineers with people skills and business skills. But I have people skills, damn it. No,
Yeah.
in one
Insert
sentence, that's
office
what it
space.
is. It's really strong engineers that can get in front of people and understand product and design and business and really bring all of that together and actually build things. And the reason this has become big, so in my career, it was always there's a SaaS product that was built. There's a customer that gets signed, and there's always a little bit of code and stuff in between that has to fit the product to the customer use case. And we enabled the sales team to sell things that we didn't build yet because we would
Right.
build tooling around that. Now, with AI, this field is totally different. And really, it's saying, okay, we have this new thing called AI that allows you to code basically at the speed of light. But if you don't know the code, you start to struggle using the AI. So you can't be totally non-technical. But if you don't know the business side of it, you basically get the same kludgy interfaces that you got out of an outsourced development team. So why is a forward deployed engineer so important? They're going to work with the customer, the product people, the people having the problem. They're going to get in there and see what's going on. And they're going to say, hey, I can actually fix this with code and elegant solutions that you aren't going to hate.
What I find interesting about the War Room, though, is while it leverages this type of talent, the forward deployed engineer talent, what it is really designed to do is help businesses in their worst moments, in their
Right.
moments of largest challenge, I have nobody to solve this problem, but my business depends on this. And so that's what I really love is that, to me, is the mission critical work that we started this business on in the first place, is to really unlock businesses from themselves. Lots of businesses are going through call it a revitalization. There lots of businesses have homegrown solutions that were built years ago that maybe documentation is out of date, or there are systemic problems or vulnerabilities, or they haven't been upgraded, or they live on hardware that's under somebody's desk, or whatever. Now, 1,000 different ways to die as a non-tech company running software. And so that's one of the things that I love doing is like parachuting into a business that is running mission critical software for them, but they have lost the context. They have lost maybe the people that were empowering that product. So that's one scenario for War Room. And I know you like that one.
I like that. The other scenario I like is somebody once told me, you are what you tolerate. And I think in business, we tolerate a lot of dysfunction because it just isn't hurting us now, or it's just slightly painful. But I think there comes a point, especially if you have a bunch of aging technology, or if you had a bunch of technology built and it just can't get to production. We've seen that scenario too. It was built by another team and it's just not doing the job. Everybody in the office hates it. And the other aspect of War Room is we are coming to the office. One of the inspirations of this was there are some things that just can't be done remotely. And when it comes to building great software, there are times when I'm trying to build a workflow and someone's talking to me about it. And I'm like, I just need to see you do your job. I need to see you do your job. I need to see you use this thing. I need to know where everything is. When there's a security bottleneck, I need to be able to tap someone on the shoulder and say, get me access. And when there's a guy who's, oh, I'm on vacation this week. No, you're not. I need you to come in the room. We're going to do it now. And it's going to get done. And we've been on these rigmaroles around the whole remote working. And it really doesn't, this is why it's called a war room. It's like a week. Maybe we do this for a month. You can go back to working remote after that, but we got to get it done now. Otherwise, this is just going to drag on. And the bigger the company, the longer this drags on.
That's right.
So if you're the CEO wondering, what the hell is going on with these people? War Room is for you.
That's right. The other option is lots of times businesses have an in-house engineering team. They have technical leadership, CTO, VP of engineering, whatever. Those people have their full-time initiative. They don't have the opportunity to go on tangents.
No extra space, side quests.
On exploration, no side quests. I can't build proofs of concept. So we're constrained by resources. So one of the other things that War Room is really well designed to do is for a very short period of time to run in parallel with your existing business, to adopt your likeness, to do things that are in the responsibility of the business, but to not have to worry about where am I getting full-time employee salary budgets from, to not have to worry about if I'm going to lose Jeff on the project, I'm going to fall behind in the backlog. That's also another aspect to War Room, which is burn your backlog and free your existing team. So lots of different ways that you can wrinkle the War Room. But man, this is really about parachuting in for a small period of time to unlock businesses in their worst days. And so for me, I really love that, man. And like, raise your hand as a technical individual at the top of a business. Raise your hand if like more acceleration would be really helpful. Raise your hand if you've been in a scenario where you wish a team would have parachuted in to get you out of Dodge. And
well,
so
how about this
happens.
Yeah, how about this one? Because this is the new thing you're going to hear. Your CEO comes in and says, now there's AI. You shouldn't have any backlog or bottlenecks. I hear all these stories about everybody running 1,000 agents and you shouldn't have any bottleneck. Well, the reality is we're at the forefront of this. AI enablement is another great example of, first of all, demystifying the idea that there's somebody out there who's effective running 1,000 agents at once. That is not reality. So if you're the CEO going, teach my people how to run 1,000, I'm not going to teach them how to run 1,000 agents. So we got to demystify that. But if they're not running any agents, or they're stuck, maybe, oh, I tried Cursor once and it didn't work out. That we hear that all the time.
Totally.
Well, maybe it's enabling them, showing them how to get the most out of the tooling. And a lot of times the tooling is not as effective if your process isn't great. So if you don't have things like version control and CI/CD, and some people watching this are thinking, who doesn't have that? We see that a ton. That's like the number one use case.
It's an indicator.
There's no version control, no test suites, no CI/CD. So you got to get all that figured out where, again, Where's the time coming from? We can't go back and do that stuff. Well, we can use AI tools to help you get that, get the good process in place, and then the team can run and they will enjoy working with these tools again and get the acceleration they need. But these are all things that have to happen. We've tried to do this in a monthly remote engagement before. We've tried to do this on the side. We have figured out from experience that the way that this works is you got to get in the room. You got to have one good, strong phase where we're in person and we get it done. And then you're going to have a great time going forward.
That's right. That's right. And so this wasn't just like poof invented, big, great idea. This is from like a decade of repetitions doing this and being like, hey, we should productize this and we should lean in this direction versus the other way, which is highly commoditized, which is like anybody and everybody can just spin up a little website for a small business right now. That's not the work that this agency is really designed to do or interested in doing. And so for me, this is really like what is the most valuable thing that we can do as a business for the world. And
Right.
this is that thing. This is where our excitement comes from. This is where we feel that we have done the best work of our lives is coming into your business and fixing your shit. That's just the best possible thing that we can do and the most fun that we have. And so for me, this is like more of a coming home than it is like a new advent. It's the thesis we always had when we were thinking about building this business while we were moonlighting against our careers.
Right. Well, and the other piece is the focus, right? For us, there's a reason this is a premium product. I know that I will be involved in every engagement along with portions of our staff, depending on that engagement. We need to be able to buy absolute focus. A lot of agencies are running many projects at once, on ours included. In order to be effective on on a tough problem that's really costing a lot of money or a problem that's costing a lot of time for staff, we want to stay focused in your business. And this is the idea of we're going to show up to work, we're going to show up every day, and we're going to get it done. And there's going to be no side distractions, meetings, etc. going on. We might film the podcast though, but we're going to stay focused. The point is we stay focused on the problem. The team stays focused on the problem. We really don't want that up and down. Hey, we're going to put a week in next month, a 50-hour retainer. You guys have been through that before. It's really about intense focus with really talented individuals to come and solve really difficult problems.
And so I'm excited to really return back to this product. We've been getting great feedback from people that we passed this in front of. It's been doing great on social media. LinkedIn was really supportive of this type of a product. I think that our hypothesis of whether this exists is going to be proven. The next thing is, are companies willing to pay for this? Is it so uncomfortable for them that they're actively looking for this? And so that's the next thing that we just need to prove. But from the initial feedback, like we just built this page, causeofakind.com/war room, no hyphens, no spaces. I'll put it in the show notes. And it's just like a declaration of value propositions. There is definitely an ideal client persona for this type of a thing. This is really not for a bootstrap business. No, this is not for a pre-seed funded business. Like if you're in this position and you're pre-seed, you should probably just stop.
No, this is, we do greenfield builds.
Real business.
This is use cases that I can think of, honestly, is I've heard of a business, for instance, in the midst of a huge data migration between two e-commerce platforms, and it's gone on for 2 years.
Crazy.
Go figure that, right? That was an example of, we're going to do it in a month, but we just need to be focused in on it for a month. And that's it, because we know we can do it that fast. And that was a great example. Another is an engineer just suddenly quit. And they were the ones who held all the keys to the castle, or something happened to them. And I don't know what's going on. Things are running, right? But you're trying to find a replacement. You can't really find a replacement. If the type of engineer that needs to handle this is not someone who's junior. This is a great example of, let's get in, let's test, document, figure out where everything is, get it all up and running, even help you hire the replacement, or stay on board on a longer term kind of cause of a kind engagement to keep things moving forward. But you know who you are if you've ever sat there and said, hey, I just need someone to come in and fix this for me. That's what this is.
That's right. And there's no limit to it. It could be a day, it could be a month. It's like there really is no limit. It's how big is the problem how big is the pain It's not even how big
It's
is it?
about doing it fast, man.
That's right.
That's the key. It's
Getting in
about
and out.
as quickly as we can get this thing fixed for you. And of course, there's the long-term support on the back of that. But the real goal is what I really think is enablement, especially if you have an internal team that you feel like they need that enablement. This can really help offload that stress.
That's right. Kind of in like a weird way, I really kind of hope that like legit engineering firms, legit agencies and all of that, I hope they realize like that this is really the path to value. I think that the hype of AI is going to be as happenstance as your email. I think like it's a minimum expectation. Of course, that's in my toolkit. Would you question a doctor that showed up without a stethoscope? Of course, like there are certain minimum tools that you need to be super effective at this role. So kind of remove the, are they going to use that tool? That's like silly. I use email. Let's just leave it at that. I hope that the real serious engineers that are out there that are running agency level models are seeing that the future is going to be businesses that either vibe coded something together and have gotten themselves into a bit of a problem, or the things that are not vibe codable solutions, like real business infrastructure, like real migrations of data. Like, yes, it's the operator that uses the tool. That's the difference. Can't
I
just be like, hey, help that.
saw a great tweet the other day that was Cursor saying, there was like a bragging post that 99% of our code is written with agents. And then someone was like, yeah, we know. And it shows 98.888. Like they lost the 4 nines of uptime. And it was
Yeah.
like GitHub. This is just non-engineering firms. It's like serious engineering firms are getting themselves into hot water. We've lost 4 nines of uptime availability. I think there is a way to use agents effectively without losing that uptime and still preserving the joy. Let's be realistic. Like there are real people that are feeling a sense of loss from not hand coding, but there is a joy in this. I think you lose your joy if you're being pressured into like running 10, 20, 40 agents at once and focus. This product is really designed to show the value of focus. I think the theme at its essence is what happens when a human plus AI can focus in on a single serious business problem.
Well, I love it, dude. And definitely a good topic. We'll talk about War Room excessively. I think it's just like a battle cry for us as to the type of work we want to do and what we want to be known for. And, if you're out there and want to help Mike and Justin and Cause of a Kind get to our goals, like the best thing that we can do are find businesses that are, in search of a high valued team to come in and solve some big problems.
If they want to do it on film, I'm also into that because
Yeah.
that could be a
Why not?
really, really
Could be a
fun
cool TV
show.
series.
That
Could
could
be a really
be a
interesting TV
fun
series.
show.
Bar Rescue, Vibe Code Rescue.
War stories.
Yeah,
Right?
war stories.
Like so,
Exactly right.
if you're interested, otherwise we are under NDA with pretty much everybody who's done this before, so
That's right.
we can. So that's two.
That's right. Dude, I'll see you later.